Today, unveiled Radio FYI. This is an artificial intelligence infused platform and app that allows customers to chat with FYI's radio personas to curate and personalize content. Joining me live, first on Fox Business, is the man himself, FYI founder and CEO, Will.i.am. Well, this is like a multi-headed thing. You've got the radio part of it, but you also have a business that you are marketing to just about everybody to unleash creativity. But let's talk about the radio app first. How does it work?
So we've simulated the format of a radio station where we have AI co-hosts, and you're able to have deep conversations around any subject that you're interested in, real-time information, historical information, and it simulates a radio experience, talks over like a musical bed, and then throws to a curated playlist that humans curate. And then we build these stations off of projects. So you come to FYI, we have our curated partners like Earn Your Leisure for InvestFest in Atlanta. They're one of our creative partners, our curation partners. And their radio station is focused on urban finance, right? Getting the community in and around financing. So every day they'll keep that station and that project up to date. And so when you go to InvestFest, you'll have your station post festival, summit, you can still engage with the information that they're going to be curating daily.
When you say people can communicate with the AI radio hosts, are these are not real people? These are AI voices.
It's all AI. And our curation as far as the sources that it's getting information for is super thought out, so where it keeps it from...
Right, you're not just scraping Reddit and some of these crazy websites out there that don't have quality information.
No, we have our partners and our RSS feeds, our internal journalists, to ensure that what we're reporting is all factual. And every once in a while, it will get it wrong, but that's why we urge everyone to push the AI, to question it, push it to go out and fetch more. Treat it like something that you can trust, but with some type of, precaution. You have to push it. You can't just receive everything as facts in a digital world. And the reason why it helps with creativity, say for example, you're hyper creative as myself, myself. A lot of times you could wear out your friends and family when you always have an idea. Calling somebody at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now I have a persona that's never tired, and it can help me fine tune my ideas that I have. I don't need it to come up with an idea. If you are worried about or not secure with your idea, banter with one of our AI personas and help fine tune your marketing plan, your strategy, or your song, your book that you're publishing, and have real conversations with it. You could talk you could rant, and it would make sense of your rants and to help you bring your ideas into form to materialize and strategize around.
Man, whoa. And he deserves it. He deserves it. Because he also went after me a couple of times. I didn't like it. And I mean this sincerely. Had he been allowed to enter the Democrat primary, he would have easily beaten Joe Biden, but they wouldn't let him in. They put up rules. I've never seen rules like he had to have 65% of the vote in order to run, little things like that.
Thank you. Thank you, President Trump. A few hours after the assassination attempt at Butler, I got a call from a safe food advocate named Kelly Means, who's been fighting for many years to try to end the corruption at CDC and FDA and USDA. And these institutions, these regulatory agencies, are actually run by the big food processing companies, the big ag and the chemical companies that they're supposed to regulate. And he said to me that he'd been advising me for many years and on my campaign. And he told me that night that he was also advising President Trump. And he asked if I would talk to President Trump. And I said, of course. And about a few minutes later, I got a call from the president, and we talked. We had a very good talk. And then he invited me to come see him the next day, and I went to Minneapolis and saw him. We met again a couple of weeks later in Florida, and we talked about, not about the things that separate us because we don't agree on everything, but on the values and the issues that bind us together. And one of the issues that he talked about was having safe food and ending the chronic disease epidemic. Our children are now the unhealthiest, sickest children in the world. Don't you want healthy children? And don't you want the chemicals out of our food? And don't you want the regulatory agencies to be free from corporate corruption? And that's what President Trump told me that he wanted. He also told me that he wanted to end the grip of the neocons on U.S. foreign policy. He said he didn't want any more $200 billion wars in Ukraine, that we could use that money back here in the United States.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you're going to join those Patreons. If you're not a part of the Patreons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And guys, also make sure you go to TikTok, like, and follow. New videos are coming. Don't forget they had the Beijing robot event, and that was absolutely crazy. If you checked it out, you know what I mean. But guys, we have Will.i.am. And what did he say? He was one of those global leaders at Davos. And he's bringing the AI. Instead of you going to another person, bouncing off ideas, now you're going to artificial intelligence. And if you know anything about the NWO, we know they created all these schools so they could take talent, steal talent. Now they're just like the Alphabet Boys. Only thing they got to do is hit that computer and they can take all the ideas. Yes, guys, you can't make this stuff up. If you're speaking to something that's collecting all your data, that data is going to be accessed. And we know eventually it's going to be in the fine print. We've seen too many times people give other people their idea and they go and take it and steal it. We've seen the movie before. But just think about if you're telling AI all your ideas, your secrets, and all of a sudden that data gets hacked, you've lost everything, or you definitely have been exposed. And remember, guys, this technology can be used for good or evil. But unfortunately, the hands that it's in is for an evil agenda. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And we have RFK Jr. suspends his campaign and says he's definitely supporting Trump. And I told you guys, he's going to go down as a legend. And we've seen this movie before. Anytime an independent is inside the race, they take votes for others. But now he suspended the vote. Now all these votes go over to Trump. And that would definitely make him the winner unless we happen to get something else when it comes to the September 18th. We know the movie continues. Not only do we have Trump's verdict, but then also we have Jerome in the house. Yes, guys, you can't make this stuff up. Remember, these dates are selected. And we know the power of 9, that ether. But RFK Jr. gave the world the truth. But guys, we know the sheep don't want the truth. Remember, the Crypto Teacher gives you the truth, none but the truth. Yes, the truth hurts, but it sets you free. And when it comes to the sheep, the truth is too painful. But remember, guys, we're just watchmen on the wall. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
And the safest, the best way to build a safe America is to rebuild our industrial base and rebuild the middle class in this country. And don't you want a president who's going to get us out of the wars and who's going to rebuild the middle class in this country? And he told me that he wanted to end the censorship because the whole basis of American democracy is the free flow of information. And we know that a government that can silence its opponents has license for any kind of atrocity. And can you think of any time that you can look back in history and say that the people who were censoring were the good guys? They're always the bad guys, because it's always the first step down that slippery slope to totalitarianism. And I want to ask you again, don't you want a safe environment for your children? Don't you want to know that the food that you're feeding them is not filled with chemicals that are going to give them cancer and chronic disease? And don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again? Thank you all very, very much, and God bless you, and God bless America.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.